Hello everyone, and welcome to Fara's Carrier Guide. On today's episode, it's going to be a short one, 6.9, is what to do when things go bad really fast. It's when your team's collapsing, things are going terrible for you. You as an aircraft carrier player, there is a set amount of time it takes for you to fly out, bomb a target, land again, reload the planes, take off again. Cruisers, battleships, they can do a lot of damage just within their reload time, and if they get really good hits, they can have a lot of impact when the game goes bad because they can deal with a lot of ships. But when things are going bad and the world is collapsing in around you, what can you do about it as an aircraft carrier player? There are some things like which we're going to talk about today, elements that can have some much of an impact, whether or not it's can you win the game, is the game lost, can I salvage some damage, can I get a kill, can I survive, or how desperate do I need to be. These are all elements that come out of when the game goes bad. So this is a very difficult format to show in a balanced tactic map, which is why we're not necessarily going to use it. And you would need to have a game like a replay. So if I get a replay, we'll put it into the video description, and we'll also put a link into it on the World of Warcraft aircraft carrier section EU forums. But the topics we're talking about that can help is map awareness, ship positioning, team support, survival, desperate plays, and then lastly, acceptance. Acceptance that it's going to happen, and you might as well go into the next game. Don't carry any ill feelings, and try not to flame your team. So, if we're talking about map awareness, what we're trying to explain is, and I guess I can bring up a map tactics view here briefly, is what is the enemy team doing? Where are they? What are they doing? Are you getting pinned in? So we'll use the tactics map here as a basic overlay. So we're the carrier in the south. Things are going really bad. Most of our team have just died horrendously. We've got a couple of ships coming in around us. We're being pinned in. We don't have many. Let's just make it pretty grim. We've lost the capture points. We don't have many ships. It's pretty bad, and this might not be all of it. There might be more ships coming in on us, and we can't turn around our planes quick enough. Well, the first thing is map awareness. Where are the enemy? Where are they coming from? What are they doing? Is there anything we can do to help our team? Can we spot torps? Can we spot a ship? Can we spot a battleship? Who's the biggest threat? Is it this battleship against our cruiser and our destroyer, or are they in smoke? Are they fine? What our battleship on the west? Does he have a lot of health? Can he fight these ships individually? Should we use if we can get one last good strike off, who should we go for? Should we go after this wounded battleship? If we kill this wounded battleship, what does it mean? Does it mean that our battleship here can get in the fight and fight the other ships? Or do we have to go after the battleship over to the east? Can we kill him, allowing our cruiser and our destroyer to rotate round and fight over on the western side? Priority targets are very important, and it's at this point desperate plays come into effect. If this battleship maybe has a defensive fire, or maybe there's a cruiser with him, or maybe he has a high AA ship, it doesn't matter. We have to try. We have to try and do some damage, force them away, help our team. And that's team support, Things are going bad. We don't really have an option. We've got to do something. Your positioning is also important. Are you spotted? Are you sighted? Can you get into cover? If you know the team is collapsing, start running away. You need to get away, get out of line of sight. You need to survive. You got to survive so that you don't take fires, and you can launch planes and bomb and do damage. However, there's a flip side to that. Conversely, you are a health pool. You're damage. If you've got an armored flight deck, or if there's just a couple of ships that you don't do a huge amount of damage, maybe you actually want to show yourself. As soon as you show yourself as the aircraft carrier, depending on how many enemy ships are left over, you wouldn't want to do this against an entire team. Everyone's like, oh, aircraft carrier, I've got to shoot him. So you're like this magnet to bullets and shells, and everyone wants to shoot you instead. And that can give your other teammates the ability to survive. They might have a little bit more time where they're not being shot at, so they can make a difference. You might show yourself, start taking hits, but that's okay because your bombers have already taken off. You're maybe doing a desperate attack on the battleship. You're showing yourself to the cruiser and the destroyer, so they're not fighting against your wounded ships. Maybe they're not attacking your battleship on the west side, so he has more relief and you're taking hits, and maybe you can then slow down, and maybe you're not pointing at them but you're slowing down, and then you try and run away so they focus at you while you're spotted. These are kind of things you can do: ship positioning, map awareness, team support, survival if you need to, or if you want to sacrifice your health pool so that other teams can survive, you can go about it. and then ultimately you might, just maybe, clutch a win out of this. Maybe it's a standard battle and you've got another destroyer up in the north capturing their base, or maybe it's a domination battle and you're slightly ahead in point lead, but the kind of game's running out and all you need is a few more kills. There's just so many elements and what ifs that you have to take it with your own experience and decide what to do when ends. But the last topic, like I talked about at the very beginning, is acceptance. There are just sometimes there's nothing you can do. Try as hard as you want. If you want to try and live, if you want to try and do some damage, go for it. If you think you can win, go for the win scenario. That's usually what I do. I always try and go for the win. I don't necessarily go for me surviving. But you have to accept that sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes your team are just absolutely freaking terrible and you're going to take a loss. And there's nothing you can do about it and everything's just going bad. Just de-stress, let out your system. Don't do a 3-paragraph monologue in chat how the enemy team or your team was terrible and it was everyone else's fault, and then go into the next game and enjoy the next game. That's it for my episode of the Fara Carrier guide for what to do when it goes really bad really fast. Hopefully you and I have learned something here, what to do and how to do it. For the most part, you probably already know what you're doing, but don't be adverse to doing drastic plays. It's basically a microcosm of everything that you've already learnt. Spotting, target priority, team support, but everything's super condensed and super important, and the most important thing that usually happens is desperate plays. Who do I go for? Can I attack him reliably? Or who must die? Who I must attack, or I must kill, or I must get rid of? But it's risky, but you got to go for it no matter what. And these are things you're going to have to judge and go with regards to how to react when the game goes badly against you, especially badly very, very quickly. Alright, our next episode and final episode is episode 7, the differences between random, ranked, and competitive gameplay. So until then, goodbye guys, and we'll see you later.